Hello world, welcome back to the Razor RC, and we got a quick little review. This is not a full-on review, but I do have the LRP S8 Rebel BX3, and it's been out for about 7 or 8 months. I picked one of these up actually when it first got released, and hadn't gotten around to doing a full review, and there's a few reasons for that. One is that it's just not a popular video or popular vehicle. You know, generally I try to focus on things that people will want to watch. They'll just kind of appeal to the most number of people. Second is I didn't get a whole ton of running time on this. Just got busy with other things, other vehicles, work, just general life stuff. So unfortunately, I've been not running as much nitro, but wanted to share some comments or thoughts and opinions on this because it is on sale right now. I think it's 20% off at AMA. I'll have a link in the description below. It's a really good deal right now, so I thought people might want to know about this buggy before they pick one of these up. So this is a 1/8 scale nitro powered race buggy, and it is the BX3 version, so it has been updated from the BX2, which came out like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. And yeah, it does feature some updates. I'm not going to go through it all. I do have an unboxing and a first run video, but wanted to kind of share my thoughts after having gotten to run it a few times. First off, the radio. Pretty basic radio, works okay, no endpoint adjustment, but does have dual rates, so it is sufficient for a nitro vehicle, ready to run. Certainly something you might want to upgrade. Other electronics wise, I know some people had some issues with the servos. I have not. Seems to run okay. One thing I did want to comment on though is the battery box here. So it is fairly tight, like it barely fits like a lithium. I don't have a battery handy, but a life battery is what I typically run in here, and it barely fits. Like even the plug is almost a little bit too big for this, so it's very, very tight. Just be aware of that. You know, it even bows out a little bit once I run that Futaba style plug. It does, you know, normally use a 2-pin, but I normally run 3-pin Futaba style. So that is the other thing. In terms of how it drives, power, I'd say it's kind of average. Among all the RTR engines I've tried, I think the Kyosho stuff tends to be the fastest. I think the HPI stuff is a little bit on the slower side or average side. This is kind of in between. So if Kyosho is the top, let's say HPI is, you know, one of the slower ones. The LRP is a little bit closer to the HPI side than the Kyosho side. It's fine, you know, it works totally fine. LRP is well known for making nitro engines and electronics packages and stuff. They are a company out there in Germany, for those that don't know, but yeah, they, you know, the engine seems solid, but not like crazy fast or anything like that. So just something to be aware of. Performance wise, it also, I think, drives really, really well. I think the handling on this thing is amazing. It does have the aluminum shocks all the way around. I did add sway bars front and back, so that is an optional part. But yeah, it just drives well. I think it's tuned well. I think it handles well. It does have grease in all 3 discs. I did swap them out for diff fluid, which makes a difference. Definitely makes it handle a little bit better. But they do have option parts to make this drive a little bit better. So, you know, power-wise, I'd say it's kind of average, but handling-wise, I think is one of the stronger points. The other important area to talk about is durability, and I did have 2 issues. One is that the front bumper broke, so I smashed this into something. Seems like the front bumper is a little bit brittle, so I did buy a replacement piece and boil it, and I think that helps a little bit, just make it a little bit more flexible. The other issue is it does have a plastic B, C, and D blocks. So those are the hinge pin braces, these blue pieces you can see here. They are plastic out of the box, so I've got, you know, my old ones right here. These are the plastic pieces. They make aluminum ones for the C and D blocks, but they don't have one for the B block yet. So it's supposed to be coming, but it's been that way, you know, for months now. So hopefully they'll release that, because I do feel like that is a weakness area you might want to consider buying parts. If you're actually jumping this thing, if you're just driving up and down the street, it doesn't really make a difference. But if you are jumping this thing off like on a racetrack or something like that, I think it does make a difference. I did actually end up breaking the D block here, so that cracked, and then I had to replace it. So definitely get the aluminum parts if you are going to be jumping this thing. And that seems to drive quite well. You know, adjustable servo saver, aluminum shock tires, like I mentioned, the aluminum shocks, the adjustable turnbuckles, steering links, some optional parts, including the sway bars like I bolted on here. So nice, you know, pretty decent vehicle overall. Just have the polished pipe here as well. Looks pretty nice. Pull start engine, of course, for an RTR. Carb, everything seems fine. You know, no real issues are in that. So yeah, I think at the price it's available right now, I think it's like $350, $360-ish, somewhere around there. I think it's actually a pretty good value. Certainly going to be one of the cheapest RTR nitro buggies you can buy. Really, the competitors are going to be like the Kyosho Neo, which again is a little bit pricey. I think it's at like $420 normally, and now around the same price as this on the sale. So I'll have links in the description below if you want to pick one of those up. Either of those is fine. Just be aware that this one you know, maybe you want to get the aluminum CD blocks, and then on the Kyosho side, you definitely need like the steel spur gear and possibly even the aluminum upgraded chassis or something like that. I'm not really sure, but you know, both of them are fine vehicles. I think this one is a little bit better handling. I think the Kyosho has a little bit more power, so just kind of depends what you're looking for. But this is certainly something a little different, not super popular. And so now I just wanted to share some running footage and just to see it in action. Not a ton of footage out there, but I just did have a little bit of driving on a sort of large BMX park. It was wet out there, so there's a giant lake I was making sure I was avoiding. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.